My name is Payton Smith. The most important thing in my life is my faith in God. Next to that is my family, of course. I have a wife. Right now, we only have two dogs, but probably be adding some kids sometime later. And next, my love for the outdoors and hunting. My life before my injury, growing up, I was raised in church. I went to vacation Bible school and church camp and youth group. And then I'd say when I was about 14, I kind of started getting involved with all the temptations that the world has to offer. And I would say around age 18, it was pretty much just all what I wanted to do. I had a problem with alcoholism and was just living kind of a selfish, meaningless life. My injury occurred when I was 21. It was January 23rd, 2016. I was drinking and driving, and I was going home from a party I was at, and I crossed the center line, hit an embankment, rolled my truck a few times. I wasn't wearing my seatbelt, and I got thrown out of the vehicle and broke my neck at the C4 level. I remember flying out of the truck. There was actually snow on the ground, and I remember laying in the snow, and I kind of remember the guys that found me, and then that's the last thing I remember. But they put me in a helicopter, and actually the snow was a blessing because it kept my body cold enough to where my spinal cord wasn't swelling as bad. But once I got in the helicopter, my spinal cord started to swell and I could no longer breathe on my own. I had ARDS, that's acute respiratory distress syndrome. That caused me to have to be intubated. I was sedated for 3 weeks. And then I woke up and I was told that I had broken my neck and couldn't move below my shoulders and didn't know if I would ever breathe on my own again at this time. I had a trach, so I was still on a vent. And yeah, I just kind of remember praying to God that either I would just go to sleep and wake up and it would just be a dream, or I would actually just die. As I went on with my recovery, I just kind of looked for any improvement I could get. So my first goal was to be able to breathe on my own. I had the doctors turn the ventilator off, and thankfully I could breathe on my own. My next goal after that was to go to rehab. I wanted to be able to send an email on my own, and they started working with me with a mouth stick and a stylus. The mouth stick goes in your mouth. It's got a place where you bite, and then there's a stylus on the end. And I got an iPad and set it up on a tray in front of me, and I just started basically playing around, and I would get tired very quickly. But now I can use a mouse stick very quick to send emails, get on social media, do all those things that I wanted to do. It just took a while to learn. Something else I wanted to do was shoot. I had someone who's a good friend of mine now. He came to the hospital, and he is a C6 quad, or C5 actually. He introduced me to a company called Be Adaptive, and they make adaptive shooting equipment. I ended up getting the high quad mount. I basically look through my scope with the camera on my phone, and there's a joystick that I move with my chin to aim, and then I suck in on a straw when I'm ready to shoot, and there's a little lever that pulls the trigger. So I do shoot 600-yard F-class matches against able-bodied people with that adaptive shooting mount, and I do fairly well. That's a pretty big achievement that I reached. So my relationships after my injury didn't change so much. My wife, she was my girlfriend when I had my accident. I told her, this is a lot to take on, and you didn't sign up for this. If she wanted to move on, then I would completely understand. She said, I've already had a lot of time to think about this and process it, and life just doesn't make sense to me if we're not together. So whatever we have to do, we'll just do it. Most of my family members, my relationship didn't really change. Some of my friends kind of fell off, but a lot of my friends I got extremely close to. I have a buddy of mine who takes me hunting a lot and videos my hunts for me. He's kind of like just been there for me. He's a big part of helping me achieve my goals. So after my injury, I really rededicated my life to God. And I always had the belief that at some point I was going to get out of this chair, that God was going to heal me. And at some point, I realized that that was not likely to happen. At that point, I got really down, and I kind of told God, I need help. I needed to feel like I was making a contribution to society. And I started doing speaking engagements about drinking and driving. I am now in a program called Think First Missouri that goes to different schools and talks about the dangers of drinking and driving. Through that and through my Facebook page and YouTube channel, Wheels and Weapons, where it follows me hunting and shooting, I kind of had the revelation that my accident was supposed to happen. And, when people ask me now, do you wish that God would heal you? I tell them, like, God did heal me. He healed my heart. And now that I'm in this wheelchair, I'm able to reach so many more people. I just have so much more to give now. The skills I would really like to build are my public speaking skills. And I also kind of have been trying to figure out a way to go back to work. And my uncle owns a construction company, and he has given me a job to be a bid estimator. I'm actually waiting on a truck to be built and then a track chair to be able to get around the job sites. There's absolutely other goals in my life than walking. My goal now is to be a good Christian, be a good husband, a good friend. If I was speaking to someone that was injured similar to me, the first thing I would tell them is that life is not over, because I thought it was. And that's absolutely false. There's so much worth and value in you, yourself, in your story, in what you can do with it. There's so much more to life than your physical ability.